The Castel Sant'Angelo, also known as the Mausoleum of Hadrian, is one of the most iconic monuments in Rome. Situated on the right bank of the Tiber River, this imposing structure has undergone centuries of history, transitioning through various transformations and uses from imperial mausoleum to fortress, prison, and eventually museum. Its architecture, history, and cultural significance make it an important symbol of the Italian capital. The construction of Castel Sant'Angelo began under Emperor Hadrian as a mausoleum for himself and his family. The emperor chose a strategic and easily defensible location near the Tiber River. The mausoleum was surrounded by a large garden and contained statues and reliefs reminiscent of Egyptian funerary practices. In the 3rd century AD, the mausoleum was fortified during the reign of Emperor Aurelian in response to invasion threats. A cylindrical wall was built around the monument to transform it into a true fortress. It was towards the end of the Roman Empire that the castle began to be used as a refuge by popes, altering its original function. During the Middle Ages, Castel Sant'Angelo became a papal residence. Various architectural modifications were made to adapt it to the needs of the church. Pope Nicholas III in the 13th century connected the castle to the Vatican via a fortified corridor called the Passetto di Borgo, allowing for a safe escape in case of attack. Over the centuries, Castel Sant'Angelo also became known as a prison. Famous prisoners, such as Giordano Bruno and Margaret of Navarre, were held in its cells. The suffering of many prisoners has become part of popular tradition. With the unification of Italy in 1870, Castel Sant'Angelo became a museum. Over the years, it has seen various restorations and modifications to preserve its structure. Its opening to the public has led to the valorization of its history and the dissemination of Roman culture. The castle features a circular plan with an inner courtyard surrounded by thick walls. The upper part hosts a panoramic terrace with a spectacular view of Rome. The facade is characterized by a series of battlements, towers, and a large statue of the Archangel Michael, symbolizing divine protection. The inner rooms are decorated with frescoes and artworks that reflect the transition from mausoleum to military architecture. Some rooms have remained intact, offering testimony to the daily life of the popes and prisoners. Inside the castle, there are frescoes by artists such as Pietro da Cortona and Guido Reni, many works that illustrate the history and spirituality of the church. The upper part of the castle is adorned with a statue of the Archangel Michael, who, according to legend, appeared to stop the plague in 590 AD. Today, the castle houses an extensive collection of armor weapons and medieval and Renaissance art. Many of these works illustrate Rome's rich military history. The museum offers visitors the opportunity to explore the city's history through the eyes of those who lived in and governed the castle. Castel Sant'Angelo represents the temporal power of the church and, in a sense, the transience of human life. Originally a mausoleum, it became a symbol of defense and security for the popes and Romans alike. Its changing function over time reflects the evolution of political and religious power in the history of Rome. The figure of the Archangel Michael symbolizes protection and divine guidance. Its presence at the top of the castle reminds us of the importance of faith in the everyday lives of Romans. It expresses the fusion of sacred and profane between earthly power and spirituality. Various legends surround the castle, linking the monument to historical events and myths. Stories of appearances and mysteries related to the ghosts of prisoners and angelic appearances are common. The tale of how the Archangel Michael appeared to stop the plague is one of the most famous narratives associated with the castle. Over the centuries, officials and popes have held ceremonies and rituals at Castel Sant'Angelo, emphasizing its role as a symbol of power and religion. The Passetto di Borgo is a fortified corridor connecting the castle to the Vatican, used by popes as an escape route during crises. Today, it is still possible to walk through it. It is a significant architectural element that reflects the intelligent defensive design of the era. The cells of Castel Sant'Angelo house not only political prisoners, but also detainees of various types. The stories of famous prisoners and their fates are often of interest to visitors. Some rooms remain inaccessible to the public, fueling mysteries about the experiences of the incarcerated. The choice of an archangel as a symbol of the castle has deep roots in Christian spirituality. Michael is seen as a warrior of God and protector of Rome. The statue of the Archangel Michael is often interpreted as a metaphor for the struggle between good and evil. Castel Sant'Angelo is not simply a historical monument, it is a symbol of the fusion of art, history and spirituality. Its evolution from mausoleum to fortress and museum reflects the political and cultural changes of Rome over the centuries. Visitors can appreciate not only the architectural grandeur, but also the stories and legends that permeate its walls. A visit to Castel Sant'Angelo provides a unique opportunity to reflect on the resilience of the city of Rome and the transformational ability of an architectural icon over time. Each element, from architecture to artworks, tells a story that transcends the boundaries of time and space, evoking a sense of wonder and connection with the past. Ultimately, Castel Sant'Angelo is a treasure of history and culture, a place where every stone speaks of power, faith, love and sacrifice. In gazing upon its imposing walls, we confront a monument that invites reflection on the bond between present and past, life and death, sacred and profane. Its eternal presence in the heart of Rome continues to tell stories that inspire generations of visitors and scholars, a symbol of a city that never ceases to fascinate.